Well, good evening, everyone, and welcome to another one of our Wednesday evening Bible studies. As always, we're going to start with a lesson here for our kids, but everyone's welcome to join in and listen along. But then, shortly after our lesson, we'll have our Bible class for our families and adults, where Dustin and Dan are going to continue our study of Matthew. But for right now, with the kids, we're going to continue studying the fruit of the Spirit. And does anyone out there remember which fruit we're on? I think I heard it. Several of you remembered. We are now studying goodness. And our memory verse comes from Matthew chapter 12, verse 35. So repeat after me. The good man brings good things out of the good stored up in him. The evil man brings evil things out of the evil stored up in him. Matthew 12, verse 35. Now again, last week we talked about how simple that may sound and how it may not always be the case that good people always do good things and bad people always do bad things, and where we need to look for that focus on to know what is good and what is bad. We started introducing a lot of those things. So before we keep going, and I'm not going to tell you all of those answers tonight. We're going to keep talking about this for a few weeks. But here's what I want you to do right now. Earlier we said good means something that is positive, something that we like, we enjoy. It also means a couple of these other things, okay? Here's your English word for the day. For those of you who maybe haven't done your English homework or whatever you're supposed to be doing. Here's some synonyms for the word good, okay? How about pleasant or helpful, joyful, worthy, dependable, right, and just. Those are just a couple of words. So if you hear that someone was worthy of something, like they were worthy of the quest they were on, or they did something with joy in their hearts, those are usually good qualities to have. If you're a very dependable person, it means people can count on you. When you say you're going to do it, they know you'll take care of it. That's another good quality. That's the sign of a good person sometimes. And then, of course, in the terms of God, especially, we hear of His rightness, His righteousness, or His justness, or how He is a just God. Those are all good things. So sometimes if we're hearing those words in Scripture, maybe we can go, oh, that's something I should be paying attention to. That's something that maybe if I try to be like that, it will show good things and build up those good things in that treasure chest inside of us that we talked about last week. So then we went on to say, if you store up good stuff inside of you, hopefully more good stuff will come out. If you're storing up bad stuff inside of you, a lot of bad stuff is going to come out. But let's get to that thought of, what if you consider yourself to be a good person, but bad stuff comes out from time to time? I'm going to do a little spot check. This is where we need to be honest with each other and with the people around us, okay? So here we go. I'm going to ask you a couple of questions. Everyone, you can kind of keep track of whoever's in your room, but raise your hand. Maybe if you're on the chat, you can put a little check mark or a thumbs up if you're brave enough there. But here we go. I'm going to ask you a couple of questions. Say yes or check the box. Raise your hand if you have ever, remember we're being honest, if you've ever talked back to your parents, if you ever said anything rude to a brother or sister, if you ever wanted something that someone else had, not just, oh, that's nice, but like really wanted it, like I'll go take that from them, sort of wanted it. If you ever disobeyed someone who was in charge, have you ever said something hurtful to a friend? Maybe you've said it on accident, sure, and you felt bad about that, but even more so, have you ever said it on purpose? Did you ever take something that wasn't yours? Like earlier we said we wanted something, Maybe you actually went and took it. Has anyone ever told a lie? But you want to know a secret? Like, come here. No, come. Yeah. Come here. Everyone has done these things. I know. I'm supposed to be better than that, right? Like, I'm Mr. Jed. I'm teaching you the lessons about how to read and learn and follow the Bible. But I've messed up too. And I bet if you're in a room with like your parents or something, if you talk with them, they've probably messed up too. Maybe y'all have even talked from time to time when maybe a parent got too upset, or when you got upset with your parent and you had to go and apologize and say, I'm sorry for that. We mess up. It happens. We try our best not to, but unfortunately we all mess up from time to time. Even people we think of as good will mess up. And we all want to know, why? Why do we do that? Well, good is hard. Being good all the time is pretty much impossible for us. That's why we're thankful that we have Jesus and His blood that cleanses us, and we have a God who wants to draw us back to Him, because otherwise He'd have given up on us a long time ago. So, goodness is difficult. Goodness may not be something we can do all of the time, but again, if we're putting good things in here, maybe more good stuff will come out. So, what are we going to talk about next week? Just that. We're going to talk about how do I put more good stuff inside of that treasury in my heart so that the next time I reach in there, I'm more likely to find something good than bad when I go to share or interact with the people around me. Thanks again for being here with me this evening. I hope that you and your family are working on this memory verse as well as some of the other ones that we've been going through as we've studied the fruit of the Spirit. We have all of those online on our YouTube page, and there's even some in our Facebook group for our children's ministry. So if you're like, oh, I don't remember the one that we did on love, or whatever the case may be, you can always go back and continue to study that one together. I thank you again for being here, and we're going to go ahead, listen to a song, and then head into our devotional with Dan and Dustin this evening.